Here we go. Here's the Old World campaign for the first time in Civilization 6. We have 37 nations starting off in the Eastern Hemisphere, and they're going to be making their way to North and South America to pick up some new colonies. Unfortunately, this wasn't the map that I wanted to use. I wanted to use a much bigger one. This one's going to be kind of weird, but it turns out that was kind of a good thing because I was able to push this game way further than I thought it would go. We're going all the way up to turn 1500, and actually a little bit more than that, 1500 plus. That's 3 times the normal length of a game. There's gonna be less than 10 leaders left, but ultimately there's only gonna be about 2 or 3 great powers that dominate the map. I'm also using a mod that makes disasters way more devastating. I feel like in the base game, it's just not enough, so a lot of people are gonna die here. Should be pretty fun. I was thinking about disabling the loyalty system here. I wasn't sure how that was gonna work with all these overseas colonies, but it turned out to be pretty cool. There were some territories that gained their independence from their overlord. It doesn't last forever though. I was also really happy that AI nations continue to snowball. I wasn't sure if that would happen. It does, it just takes a really long time. Lastly, I noticed that you never really know who's gonna make it to the end. There are some great powers that seem like they're gonna take over the world, and then over the course of 100 turns, they'll just vanish. You just never can tell who's gonna collapse. Again, full warning, the map is really ugly. I almost didn't even make this video because I hate it so much, but the reason why I was able to go so far into the future is because it's so small. I guess that's a good thing. I mean, the giant Earths crash at like turn 200, even with my graphic settings all the way down, so in a way, I guess I should be thankful. Now technically, the Maori could ruin everything here. They're the only civ that start off with this deep sea sailing. They could discover America and have like a 200 turn head start. We kind of gotta hope that doesn't happen. This is deity AI, so everyone has extra settlers. They're gonna find their 2nd and 3rd cities pretty fast after their capital, which also means the AI is gonna be pumping out a lot of units. This is pretty big though. England has a much better position on the British Isles. They also founded their 2nd city. They're pretty much just gonna bully Scotland, so that'll be accurate. Somehow, we already have our first death. Luckily, there are 2 Greases, although it doesn't look good for them either. In a weird way, this map does allow for different things to happen. Korea, China, Mongolia, they have a lot less space, so they don't just steamroll everything. Oh, we got lucky. Oh, we got so lucky. I was worried about that. Okay, so they founded New Zealand, aka Middle Earth. They're not gonna have a head start in the New World though. Indonesia's gonna have a tough start too. They didn't necessarily spawn on the best island, but they're pretty isolated. I think they'll be fine. Now, Upside Down Land might be a little bit smaller than usual, but I still want to put all my money on Australia. They're pretty safe, and it's going to be very hard to navally invade them. But the Zulu used to do really good in Civ 5, and they're just as aggressive. They don't really have to worry about anyone either, except for the Congo. That could be scary. Of course, we gotta see who's going to win the battle for India. Gandhi or sexy buff Gandhi. I think I'm choosing him. Norway and Sweden are trying to make the best out of kind of a horrible situation. I don't think they do that bad here though. Somehow, I think everything's gonna be fine. As you can see, no Eleanor today. She's a little bit too good at making things revolt. Base game France and England are still pretty strong. Wow, okay, this entire region just became a bunch of barbarians. Well, this could help out the Romans or Ottomans though. Well, the Egyptians are down here 4 cities, and as they continue to grab up northern Africa, that is gonna keep the Europeans out. For at least a little bit anyways. The Phoenicians have picked up their 3rd city by destroying Samaria. That is kind of sad. They do well in the beginning with their war carts. Not this time though. As always, the biggest threat to Georgia is Mother Nature. Volcanoes explode. That happens a lot on these real Earth maps. I think Mali could be an underdog. They make a lot of money and they're not that far away from South America. I know they used to do pretty good in Civ 5 as well, so as long as they don't get killed by the Zulu. The Dutch have survived longer than 10 turns, so I think that's a new record. Pretty sure, oh my god, and they got a 2nd city. This is a miracle. Poland's over here forward settling Germany. Probably not a good idea, but still, yeah, you guys get a science victory and you might be able to make it to space. I'll be checking in on certain civs just to see what they've discovered. I guess nothing so far. They're pretty preoccupied with Australia. Oh, and they've met Indonesia as well. So they're kind of going in the wrong direction. It doesn't matter. I'm confident they'll make it to the New World and probably settle it before anyone else. Oh my god, this part of the map is just a mess. The Egyptians got something, the Ottomans got the rest, but they're having their own revolt problems, and so are the Romans. That's gonna happen a lot in the very beginning. Things are really unstable, but as time goes by, I think that should change. Nice little sandstorm right in the middle of the Sahara. That's nice. This place is probably gonna get a lot of those. Russia and Scythia are some of the only nations with 4 cities each. They kinda need it because these two hate each other. Scotland's being invaded already. Come on, guys. England just couldn't resist. I don't think Vicky has enough units though. I think they're gonna be okay. Egypt's already lost the city to Nubia, and that is gonna be their own big rival, as well as Arabia's kind of under attack. Not really. And India got their city back. They lost it for a brief moment. It's all good though. A problem is up this way. The Mongolians aren't doing too well. Japan's not doing a whole bunch at all. They're like one of the slowest starting civs. They just founded their second city with only 1 population. Gotta keep an eye out for them because they could pretty easily make it to California. Probably not the smartest move, Coupe. I would have advised against this. Don't settle Australia. You're gonna piss off a lot of Aussies. There you go, Poland. Take the fight to Russia. Don't wait. If you wait, you know, things get bad. They also have their 4th city, which I think they might have taken from Sweden. Something like that. Well, the Swamp Germans tried, but they died once again. The French took their capital, and the Vikings actually took this coastal city. That's good news for Norway, at least. That is terrifying. Okay, the Zulu, already at 5 cities. Yeah, Congo, you might as well just get in the fetal position. Well, the Germans have 6. They took these 2 northern Roman cities, which means, yeah, I mean, they're definitely not doing too good. Kind of weird how certain civs aren't doing much, like Japan and Spain. Especially the Spanish, they've got so much space. What y'all doing? I don't know how much those volcanoes helped, but Persia was able to take out Georgia. I think that's okay. That civ's done so well in other videos, you guys can take one little L. They did it! Oh, they did it. Oh, this is some good news. We're kind of gonna see that Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It's coming back. Oh, this actually might be just the overall collapse of Russia as a whole. Well, they got this city back, but we'll see how long that lasts since Scythia is trying real hard. The Ottomans had a chance of doing really well. There are a bunch of cities up for grabs. I don't think 4 is gonna be enough though. They needed to get a lot more. Since they're in the middle of the map, they gonna struggle. Looks like the Mongolians might be preparing for their great Mongol invasion. They definitely see a lot of the map, especially in Asia. Just wait till they get those horsemen out. I'm also using a demographics mod, just like in Civ 5. That way we can look a little bit deeper into some information. Poland does have the most land at the moment. That's kind of amazing. We'll also look at some graphs. That way we can kind of see what's going on, even though can't really tell what the hell's going on. Oh, here's a nice little hurricane for, oh, you move right. Okay, I guess they must have some sort of power. That's terrifying. Oh my God, that could be a very bad sign. Maybe they're trying to tell us this volcano is about to start the next ice age. The French are now in Iberia. Great job, Spain. Again, this is what happens when you just sit there and do nothing. Poland got another Russian city. Wow, so at this point, they really just have to worry about Scythia and of course the Germans, maybe the Ottomans as well. These civs in the Middle East are probably in the worst position. They can't make it to the New World. Even the East Asian nations can make it over there. Phoenicia's trying her best though. She made it to Ethiopia. That's at least her 4th settlement. Even though Russia's dying, they're doing pretty well in both religion and culture. I don't know how much that's gonna matter when your people are dead, but whatever. All the world religions have already been founded. There's 7 of them, and it's only 1500 BC. Don't really know how that works, but it's Russia, India, Spain, Sweden, Poland, Arabia, and Phoenicia. So I guess we'll kind of keep an eye out on those. Norway's doing their thing, moving up through the North Sea and discovering Iceland and Greenland. They actually could be pretty good colonizers here. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh yeah, Russia's only got 1 city left, so they are next on the chopping block. Let's just see who takes it. Mongolia is slowly starting to climb their way back to the top. They got 5 cities back, and they kind of stopped Korea from getting anything else. 3 cities is probably not gonna be enough for them. Not bad, guys, not bad. I'm impressed. I mean, out of all the open territory you could grab, this is pretty much the best thing you could get. Gandhi's already making his way up through the Himalayas. Kind of impressive, although it might be a little difficult to defend some of these cities. Still, you gotta do something. Japanese are still only at 2 settlements, and these other ones only have 2 population, so they're really not doing much at all. Oh, it happened. The Punic Wars. The Romans killed off Carthage. Carthage is invisible, but yeah, they still did it. This is actually gonna be pretty tough for these African civs, because, I mean, no one really wants to settle in the Sahara Desert. Everyone's trying to avoid that. It could be a bad thing for the Congo, even though they're doing all right. They need to get more territory, though, before this monster comes after them. And with the Khmer being so aggressive and grabbing up southern China, it's gonna make the Chinese civ really struggle. 4 cities, that ain't good. Ireland's been grabbed up, the English got that. That's unfortunate for Scotland, because now they probably won't survive up here. There you go, Spain. Now you guys control this pass. You don't have to let anyone through if you don't want to. That's kind of a big deal, but I bet you people are gonna try to go after this city. And it happened. Of course, it happens. The first civ has made it to the New World, and they're gonna have Again, still a huge head start over everyone else. I'm assuming the next place to get here will probably be the Vikings. They get to go through the deep waters a little bit faster than others as well. It just depends on if they're even interested in going to America. Egypt's another one of those civs that is probably going to struggle. They got to worry about Nubia, like we said, and especially the Romans. If they can take a few cities, though, that would be nice. The Maori aren't doing a whole lot in South America just yet. They could possibly build the Panama Canal just a little bit later down the line, though. Russia is dead, and Poland is now the new Russian Empire. They still got to worry about Scythia, though. Again, this civ is terrifying. Arabia is the next nation to be included on the long list of dead civs. Phoenicia now has a nice solid empire. Korea is trying their best. Not only did they take back this city that I guess seems to keep switching hands, but they're just jamming in the settlements up this way. They don't even care. I just realized that Nubia is almost dead. They're left with only 2 cities. They've definitely struggled in quite a few wars. Being right next to a volcano is starting to really hurt certain civs, especially this place, because the Aussies hold a grudge. They still at war. They ain't never gonna forgive them, I guess. This border is gonna lead to some interesting conflicts. Normally, in a giant map, we don't get to see too many interactions between these two, but Scythia and Mongolia, that's a terrifying combination. Now, I know it doesn't seem like much, but the Norwegians are very smart for getting this, because this will forever give them access through the North Sea, as long as they keep that, and it could be a way to make it to North America. By turn 100, we have Australia leading in technology, but they're tied with Korea, and 3 techs behind is Germany. So they kind of have a nice lead. Gandhi's doing the most culture per turn, but that doesn't really matter because, again, it's still so early. This could switch really fast. Lots of capitals have already been taken, a lot of dead leaders all around. Obviously, the Ottomans have the most because they got pretty lucky. Europe is mostly Catholic. This religion's pretty much dominating the whole continent. Everything else is very divided. Outside of, well, Hindu is actually doing, I think, even better. This has got to be part of the reason why India is doing so well. I'm sure this has got to be a little factor. Oh wow, yeah, Gandhi's converted 7 civs total to Hinduism, where Spain, with Catholicism, only converting 4. They got some catching up to do. Government-wise, a lot of nations are oligarchies. Actually, there is one monarch, and that is in France. I'm assuming more places will probably adopt that eventually. Unsurprisingly, this is one of the sexiest parts of the world, appeal. That mechanic doesn't have a whole lot of impact, at least at this stage in the game. Oh, and good. So the New World is technically labeled as America, not North and South America, but either way, a lot of civs depend on that mechanic. Demographic-wise, Germany is leading in terms of population, almost 3 million people. Guys, it's 200 BC. What the hell are you guys eating over there? France is the biggest military. They have the most soldiers. That should definitely terrify the Germans. The Congo have crop yields, the Phoenicians doing well. Poland's still #1 in land, and Congo also with most goods. Oh, and Germany's been dominating the whole population game for a while now. They aren't really being caught. I'm sure that'll change eventually, though. I don't even know why I'm looking at this graph. This is disgusting. Like, this changes so fast. People lose units, people build units. It's gonna look like just a huge mess forever. But land is pretty cool because you'll see these sharp jumps and these sharp declines every time someone takes or grabs a city. Poland doing a whole lot with Russia, and the Congo are kind of catching up, though. After the first 100 turns and seeing that info, Shaka's not doing as well as I thought. Or at the very least, the Congo will probably be able to defend themselves. I'm starting to regret my pick there. I mean, Australia is my #1 prediction, just like in other True Start location games, because they don't really have neighbors that are really gonna bother them at all. I mean, maybe if these guys start to just go crazy with the settling, I don't know if that's gonna happen though. Is that a settler? Nope, that's just a slinger. Yeah, you guys gotta go straight after South America. Oh, but here we go. Here come the Vikings. That little advantage is not gonna last much longer, I think. They're gonna get to South America or the Caribbean. And they're surprisingly still holding strong here. I mean, I'm sure they'll lose some cities. That's just gonna happen from loyalty, but they're looking solid. I think no matter what though, the West Coast is destined to be a part of the Japanese Empire. Just, even if the Europeans get here 50, 100 turns before them, they're not gonna settle California, Oregon, Canada. This is gonna be anime land. Big F in chat for Scotland, rip. I think we all knew it was gonna happen, just, it was painful to watch. Oh no, not you too, Poland. This could have been your game. This is what I'm saying, they're probably going through a dark age. Oh, there's a nice blizzard too. Oh, and both the Scythians and Mongolia just racing in for this stuff. This is gonna be bad. 4 cities are good, Spain, but you could have had a lot more, unfortunately. And now, look, Mali doesn't even care. They're gonna settle right in the middle of the desert. They don't mind. And the Romans are kind of doing all right. Even though they lost their 2 northern cities and they never actually got that back. I don't know how. Settling in Africa kind of makes up for it. It sucks because even though Persia's looking all right, they've got a solid empire, I can't see them surviving. They're never gonna colonize. They're kind of just destined to be crushed. Mali has become, I think, the 3rd civ to just discover the new world. Although it's gonna be really hard to keep track. Basically, everyone's coming over here. Oh yeah, I'm sure England is probably found it as well. We'll see if they go for the Caribbean first or maybe the East Coast. Oh, here's a nice hurricane right there for South America. That is a little bit accurate. Ouch. Okay, now it's gonna head up north. That's gonna be fun to watch in the future. Mali's gonna get some breathing room as they're more than likely gonna take this city. The Congo won't be right down their neck. That's nice, now they can colonize. And just like that, Scythia has become a pretty dominant power here in, I don't know, Eastern Europe. More than likely Persia will lose Moscow, I think, eventually. So they'll take that too, I think. Japan might have been able to squeeze 5 cities on their main island, but that's still not quite as impressive as Korea. They just jammed that stuff in. It's adventure time for Persia as they have a little immigration force trying to make it out of the Mediterranean. They're trying to prove me wrong. I'm viewing as England, and yeah, they've definitely discovered the East Coast, which means we might be seeing the 13 colonies soon. So you definitely know those revolts are coming. I imagine they should be pretty safe from the French, although they do have a lot of control over the English Channel, as well as, yeah, Vicky, you probably shouldn't focus your navy. This city's nice, but you gotta get them to the Atlantic Ocean. I'm assuming this is the settler that will probably be sent over towards the west. It's gonna be a lot of that in the next 100 turns. Actually, outside of a few wars, the Eastern Hemisphere is probably gonna stay like this. There won't be much change over the next couple eras. All the focus is gonna be on the New World. This is really gonna make or break certain empires. And there it is. There's the first English city. It's actually in Canada, but I'm sure they'll make it down here too. I'd be careful though, because it looks like the Vikings might be planning some sort of invasion. It's a little bit late, guys. Maybe you should just focus on colonization. As I thought, the Persians were definitely going to lose Moscow at some point. They're trying to make it though. They're trying to get it back. I don't know. Is that Japan? Japan is about to take this, aren't they? Oh, no, never mind. Scythia got it. Never mind. That'd be a little too crazy. It's not like they would keep that anyways. All right, Tamaris is looking scary. Poland's definitely being invaded by some people. Man, this sucked. Out of the Paradox games, and now Civilization, you guys are just doomed. Now even the Romans are having trouble. They can't hold on to their cities either. We'll see who takes that. I mean, Spain will probably get this one. If the Egyptians can get that, that'd be nice. The Ottomans just settled Madagascar, which is nice, but I don't think the Zulu will like that. But who knows? Oh, you guys are losing your capital. Is it gone? Oh, it's gone. Wow. Well, at least we witnessed that. I guess your new home's just gonna have to be in South America. I wanted to view Sweden because I was gonna say, wow, it's amazing that they're still around, but now they're just stuck with their capital. They've almost discovered everyone, so I'm assuming all nations pretty much know of each other. There's probably just a few left. I think the Romans are done. Their time has come. The Ottomans ended up grabbing this city on the Italian peninsula. We'll see if the Germans get involved. They could go into some wars maybe for this stuff. It's still really early to worry about climate change, but I'm sure some of these events, some of these natural disasters, it's gotta be getting crazy. Let's see how much population has died so far. I mean, it is only turn 150, so I don't expect a lot. Here's 4. 4 died in a blizzard, crippling blizzard. That sounds fun. I mean, we could just kind of predict how bad things are gonna get when the future eras come. This one had 8 tiles damaged. It's a big old tornado. France is now taking the lead in terms of population with nearly 10 million. All right, so they're pretty solid. They're probably gonna be around for a while. Tamiris and Scythia now has the most land. Oh, that Polish collapse. Oh, that was painful. I'm currently viewing as Spain since they could be one of the world's best colonizers. They're right next to the Caribbean. That should be pretty easy. Problem is, they better get on it because the British now have 2 cities and Norway has pretty much made new Vinland, kinda. I mean, these are gonna be some pretty horrible settlements if I'm just gonna be honest. All up in the snow. At least they made it, you know, just keep going now. It looks like the Spanish Empire really likes the ladies since they're allied to only ladies. Egypt, France, and Vicky. And actually, I just found out that Vicky of England is allied to France as well. That's gonna keep both of those nations out of a conflict. That's kind of a big deal since they're right next to each other. And Rome better watch out for Egypt. There was some denouncements going on, and you know, Trajan has kind of been struggling. They could easily take over the rest of their cities. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, they did just lose their capital, and that's likely to go to the Germans, but we'll see. I might be proven wrong, as I thought the Japanese were kind of guaranteed this piece of North America. I guess a European is finding out about this place. The Spanish could get there before anyone else. Finally, there's got to be a few crusades going on between Catholicism of Spain and Hinduism of India. They're both pretty close, although Gandhi has the advantage. No one else really comes close at this point. I mean, yeah, we're pretty much just gonna have two dominant religions. But speaking of alliances, I really wish there was a better way for me to look at that while in this spectator mode. I can't really do it unless I go into a certain civ. The Ottomans are now looking to take over the entire peninsula. That'd be a pretty big deal for them, although Rome is still trying to get their capital back. While Germany is possibly gonna take this city as well. They have a chance of taking 2 free cities. That would kind of make them the dominant empire in this continent. Nice little volcanic eruption for Coupe. That's unfortunate because this is one of his last remaining 2 cities. This game's just trying to make it so much harder for him. Nubia is officially dead. We'll see if the Congo or Egypt gets this, which, I mean, if the Congo do, they could be maybe the strongest in Africa. Okay, that's official. Germany just picked up 2 new cities. They're the dominant power in Europe. But, you know, things could change whenever colonies become a bigger deal. Rome is just self-destructing before our eyes. They're down to 3 cities, and one of them isn't even that good. I know they're trying to get back this settlement in Sardinia, but Germany might take that as well. This is one of those things I might not have noticed. Mali is at war with Korea, and more importantly, the English Empire. And I gotta assume that might be slowing them down from colonizing Brazil. I think so. They only have 2 ships in their navy. One is inside of the city, the other in the lake. They are much safer in here. There have been a few sessions in the World Congress. We've got a new trade policy, new border control treaty, and Egypt and Persia are getting a little bit of aid. England, now with 3 cities, and they also have a 4th settler. They're not holding anything back, and that'll keep them powerful. They gotta do something about Germany. Spain has made it as well, though. 2 new settlements on the Caribbean, and I don't think anyone else is gonna take these islands from them. Oh yeah, Vicky's definitely doing her thing. She might be controlling the Atlantic right now because she's got so many ships up in here. Poland is just barely holding on, but I mean, I have faith. They could make a switch like that. A golden age could happen, and they might, oh. Damn it. Second India is still alive, but just barely though. They're kind of just chilling here in Sri Lanka. They probably don't have long left. East Asia is still anyone's game. It seems like Korea and the Japanese actually might be the strongest. We'll see if they actually decide to be aggressive because both those nations have an opportunity of getting a whole lot of new territory. I'm viewing as a Zulu, and all of a sudden this man popped up. The Ottomans seem a little bit desperate for some furs. Guess that makes sense. He's looking fabulous with his outfit. Oh, that's right, and he's also over here with Madagascar, but he's about to lose that. Surprised it made it this long. I thought Shaka would take this quick. It's kind of weird that the Zulu haven't discovered the east coast of South America, but they have the west. They're just exploring from a much more efficient way, I guess. Korea has made it to North America before Japan. That's honestly sad, guys. Kind of an amazing feat. They gotta spread the love for BTS somehow. I gotta admit, I did not think the Scandinavian countries were gonna do this well. I mean, Sweden is just surviving, but look at Norway. They don't care if they're in possibly one of the worst positions. They're still making it work. Spain is now with their 3rd city, but I do have to admit, this can't be as good as like what England's getting. It's not that much territory, and yeah, they do have to worry about the whole climate change thing. Because the 13 colonies are over here with already about 15 population combined in all these settlements. They just gotta be careful about taxation without representation. Yeah, I definitely wanted to view as Germany, kind of see what's going on, because in my opinion, they're probably the strongest. They might even get another city. Yeah, and they're doing really well. Right now, they only lead the world in gross national product as well as goods. They're still kind of behind, far behind the French, and yeah, they gotta boost up that military. This is what I wanted to check though. Would they discover North America, and then would they settle it? I guess we kind of have the answer. Let's see which state they go in. Man, and they're just friends with so many people. Multiple alliances and even more friends. They're at war with Mongolia and Sweden, which, yeah, they can't really defend themselves. I guess I never really zoomed in and looked at the French cities, but man, you guys need to stop the lovemaking. This place is about to be way overpopulated. And by turn 200, Catholicism has officially taken Hinduism in terms of the most cities. They still have more civs converted overall, which kind of matters a bit more, but man, this is gonna be a battle. Africa might be slightly up for grabs as a lot of the population is Jewish. I guess we'll see what happens to this continent. Oh, and Australia doesn't know anything about this stuff. They're just out here believing in, I don't know what, kangaroos, emus. Steve Irwin, probably all of it combined. Both the Congo and Germany lead in the most techs. They are at 46, but not too far behind is Korea, as well as the Zulu. Oh, and I almost missed this. Finally, Coupe has settled a second city, this one kind of in Peru. They should be pretty safe with this mountain range. Another mega colossal eruption just happened, but that's just a normal Tuesday for these people. Event history, we've had, whoa, already. That's, okay, yeah, that killed a lot of people. This Category 5 hurricane destroyed 13 tiles. Oh, I'd be so mad. That is so much to repair. Imagine if something like this hit France. That's probably gonna happen one day. CO2 in the air is currently mostly done by China. Isn't that weird? And then we also have the Congo, Germany, and a few others, but this is definitely gonna change in the future. Oh, and the Ottomans are attempting to take back their little island city. This is probably not gonna be enough though. If someone else tries with a big enough navy, it should be all right. Flood walls are already being built. Of course, the first to do it is the Congo, since they're ahead in science. This stuff's gonna get built everywhere. Germany has settled Frankfurt in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas. I don't know, this map's really weird, but deep south basically. And Japan has finally made it to California. So it is about time. It's not like you had to travel very far. It's not that impressive. Korea, on the other hand, has settled their second city. So they're moving down towards maybe Washington, Oregon. There's a whole lot of fertile land down here too. Norway, come on guys, what y'all doing? You were like, I don't know, the second or third civ to find North America? Send some settlers over, let's go. Gotta get Canada. Or maybe that is a bad thing. There seems to be pretty nasty blizzard over this way. I feel kind of bad for this poor Korean unit. Germany has taken Stockholm, another city. Oh man, I mean, they are kind of in the heart of this continent. It's still gonna be tough regardless. Oh, but they're doing so well. They did manage to build a little tunnel system through the Alps. Not sure why that is important. Still kind of a pretty big feat. Also, they got a bunch of wonders. Big Ben and the Colosseum as well. The French picked up a Roman city, and now Trajan is down to 2. He might be able to get back his old kind of southern Italian settlement. We'll see. The Indonesians have probably done the worst. I mean, they are in a tough spot. This map really doesn't give them a lot of room, and they really need to worry about the Khmer, as they've settled, what, the Philippines? They probably have a pretty good navy too. Was really not expecting Mali to get this, but all right. I mean, they're kind of lying low in Africa. They still might do pretty all right though. Australia has settled Texas, and for some reason, to me, that just seems like kind of a perfect fit. We'll see if they keep this. It might be kind of difficult. The second Japanese city is here in Baja California, and I'm surprised we haven't seen any revolts just yet. It might be a little bit too early for that, but it's gonna happen. Uh-oh, is this it? Is India about to die right now? Sexy India. Oh, is this Australia? I don't know who's doing this. Wow, and the French have destroyed them. That is kind of depressing, but all right. French Raj, here we come. Apparently Scythia's kind of cool with Genghis, as Genghis has a huge force just walking straight through their territory. Are they attacking the Ottomans? No. For Scythia to have all this land, they really don't have a military. That is not really a good combination, but I mean, hey, you do your thing. There we go, Indonesia. Okay, that should be a much better island to go after. Also, I mean, your capital does have 14 people. That's not bad for just 2 tiles. I guess the French have just built Broadway because I'm seeing this little movie thing right here. They're doing so good. I'm just waiting for those French-German wars. Which I mean, speaking of that, it's probably not gonna happen for a while. France is now allied to Germany, even though there does seem to be probably some things going on. I noticed that both Germany and France are pretty much neck and neck in almost every category, except for culture. Yeah, France is doing pretty well in that. The Phoenicians have made it to the New World. Norway has settled Central America, and we already have our first revolt. I don't even know who found this one. Germany and Australia have picked up new settlements here in North America. Things are going by really fast. Oh, speaking of the Phoenicians, they're getting hit by a nice big old hurricane right off the Horn of Africa. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh, is that gonna, oh, that is, ouch. Okay, that hurts. For a second there, I was about to say Australia has settled on Hawaii. Nope, that's Shaka Zulu. Fantastic, as well as Japan, okay. Still, no one has taken back this free city. Maybe the Khmer will get there. They're sending some stuff over. Also, clearly technology's getting up there. We got some field cannons. France did finally find North America, but it might be a little too late. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I guess they could try to get a city going. I don't know if they're gonna keep it though. Germany took this free city in Mexico, but it doesn't matter because a new one has popped up. Come on, Norway, what y'all doing? And the Phoenicians have also lost this one. Okay, so lots of revolts happening all over the place. other people are probably gonna grab this stuff. The Japanese are now attacking the Koreans. That is a huge war. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Does Korea even have a navy? Because if not, that's, oh wow, they really don't. That's a big deal. And Japan has actually taken a city. And it looks like they might take a whole lot more than just this. I wanted to check out Indonesia just to figure out like what is going on. It seems like they're finally picking things up. It's, you know, they're doing well with 6 cities. Might be a little bit too late though. They have only really discovered maybe California and the east coast of Asia. They are, yeah, pretty far behind. They did build a great lighthouse though. So come on, that is one thing. That's got to be pretty tough. Good job. Japan is really making a name for themselves. They might have started a little bit late, but it's all good because they got a whole lot for it. Norway, out of all the places you could have settled, you decided to put another thing on Greenland. Incredible. Spain, I think, is going to keep this free city, even though it's kind of been going back and forth between a lot of different civs. And Germany's doing all right. They have a couple colonies just sporadically around the continents. Mali is having his whole civ just burned to the ground. Oh, nice little sandstorm out in the ocean. Didn't know that was possible. This leader's about to show up like Civ 5 Songhai. Remember, like his whole nation is just fucking burning in the background. Damn, and Poland got wiped out a long time ago. Germany took both cities and they even kicked out the Scandinavian nations. I was not paying attention at all. Clearly, India has fully unified. He's taken his subcontinent and he still has his settlements north of the Himalayas. That's impressive. I don't know how long he's gonna keep that though. The Congo has arrived before Mali. That is crazy. And so have the Zulu. The Zulu are now focused on other things besides Hawaii. And the Congo are clearly far out ahead with all these solar panels. There's not very many civs with those. Australia is looking like they're about to build these flood walls around their entire continent. They're not gonna let any tiles get taken at all from all the climate change. I'm just really hoping the Maori are able to at least build a Panama Canal. I know you guys aren't doing much. I mean, you're surviving, and again, it is somewhat safe. Just do it for all of us. France has finally made it to the New World. They decided to move all the way from North America to grab, I guess, this part of Brazil. I don't know if it was worth it, but all right. And now we have the Khmer Empire reaching down and getting the southern part of Argentina. Persia just popped up with the South Pole, and the Zulu have 3 cities down this way. Here's 2 nice little revolts right next to each other, and there's actually going to be a lot more of this. This independence movement is only going to continue. I gotta give him credit. I mean, Rome is still barely holding on, just in between Egypt, France, Germany, really kind of scary neighbors. They're basically this world's Italy. Oh, we got a real nice late game war between these Asian powers. This is gonna be bloody. They both got a lot of units. I'm actually surprised Korea's even still around. Figured they were gonna lose way more settlements. Maybe they did, but I don't know, they got him back. Japan might come after him again though. Geez, France, that didn't even last like, I don't know, 10 turns? Something like that. You were sending another settler over this way. Maybe you'll get it back if you get lucky. It's kind of weird that Vicky isn't going after more stuff. The English Empire could grab up so much more territory. Just look at the heartland, completely empty. It seems like no one really wants this. Spain really is becoming the biggest colonial power. If you think about it, it's gotta be between them and Japan. This might be a little bit more impressive since they kind of had island hop though. You know, I probably shouldn't talk about island hopping and Japan in the same sentence. That didn't go that well for them the last time that happened. China just suffered from a major flood. What else is new? I guess the Chinese ended up doing pretty all right in this war. They've got a good hold over these 6 cities. They might not be that impressive, but I mean, it's all right. They clearly worked really hard on their Great Wall. Incredibly impressive. I'm jealous. Then again, they're probably focusing more on the Great Flood Wall instead. Mongolia wasn't really a threat in this universe, so it makes sense. China is kind of hated though by most people. They've got an alliance with Australia and Tamiris. That's actually a big one, but yeah, they've been denounced by almost everyone. It looks like Germany is the only civ not afraid to settle Midwest. We'll see if they actually go through with it though. And the Zulu are attacking Norway's final cities. They're pretty much banished now because they don't have anything left in Europe, or I guess Iceland kind of counts, don't they? We have a couple research centers popping up all along the South Pole. I mean, well, this wasn't by choice. They were kind of forced into that. But yeah, should be kind of interesting. This revolt is now at 3 cities. It's only continuing to grow, and it's got to be pretty hard to get up here. I don't know who's going to take all this back. Oh, the Swatans. Okay, so China lost this city. They're now back to 5. They're definitely not doing that good. It's now turn 300, and with deity AI, we should be seeing like a normal victory type in a couple turns, science victory, cultural victory, something like that. Again, we're gonna go way beyond that, but I just wanted to point that out. Right now, Germany is just dominating. They have 4 categories out of 6. Spain has the biggest military though, and wow, population, now it's the Zulu. Something definitely happened to France over the last couple decades, or maybe last century. I mean, their population was doing great, and then it just plateaued. The Zulu and Germany just skyrocketed. Land goes to Germany. Still, they are pretty much in the lead, and they've been in the lead for a couple centuries now. The Zulu are starting to catch up though. The religious wars remain pretty much the same. Not a whole lot has changed, but let's check out the New World, because that's kind of important. Wow, so pretty split in North America, but the South, oh, the South is all Catholic, so they gotta be catching up. Oh yeah, it's tied, so 8 civs to 8 civs. No one's gonna win a religious victory, I don't think. Again, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, there's gonna be a pretty big divide. Everyone's pretty much contributing to CO2 levels, unless you're essentially dead. Germany's doing the most though, and yeah, that's a lot. There was a crippling blizzard that occurred that killed 8 population and damaged 30 tiles. Oh my God. That is so bad. Wow, just kill me. There's something even worse in Africa, a death storm that killed 9, as well as 32 damaged tiles. But I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it kind of makes up for it a little. At this stage in the game, the whole like technological advantages that some civs had, that's about to go away. It's gonna be a much more even playing field for the next 1,000 turns. And since this is the point where I should be ending this video, if I didn't want to completely murder my computer, I did want to say that Spain kind of won the New Worlds. They have the most colonies with 10 cities. Japan has 9, the English have 8. But still, a lot of that's gonna change. And the Romans just had the most epic style comeback. They now have 5 cities, and it turns out it's Egypt that is beginning to collapse in on itself. Which I'm assuming with this proposal of arms control, all players have their weapons of mass destruction set equal to the target players, I think that means no one can have any nukes. Oh, there was an emergency against her. So I guess apparently she betrayed Germany. Well, now we know. As for the non-official winner, the Congo have achieved a space victory. They are out colonizing the solar system, maybe. Germany wasn't too far behind, but yeah, they still had a ways to go. Weirdly, they are allied to this German Empire, as well as the Khmer and Rome. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're coming back. And a couple others, still, a lot of people have denounced them. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Looks like Japan is really good at using giant death robots. They got a lot of experience with that. They're taking over a lot of stuff. The main area is they kicked Shaka out of Hawaii, which is kind of a big deal. I don't even know how he kept those cities for so long. It was kind of amazing. He's doing all right though, since he has most of like La Plata under his control, Argentina, Chile. Also, the Congo didn't do much colonization for winning this game. They just got a little bit of Brazil. Most of the free cities have been picked up in North America, and I guess Australia now has this randomly landlocked colony. Should be interesting to see how you support this place. And I think I want to say that this is the first colony that's gone independent. It doesn't really count. I mean, it's a snow country, and it's also formerly Norway. But, I mean, come on. They kind of beat their overlord. So I'm going to assume that whole emergency system is part of the reason why civs continue to snowball. Just like that, I would have never predicted that Egypt would vanish and Rome would still be alive at this point. And it's actually turned out to make Phoenicia even stronger. This was impressive. Again, being in the middle of the map, they didn't have much chance of success, but I really like this place. At the same time, we gotta show some love to Coupe. This is incredible. He lost his capital like, I don't even know, turn 150, turn 200. He's still doing all right. He's got one of the best colonial nations out there. At this point, almost every leader has all the technologies discovered, so there's not gonna be a whole lot of changes to the map, so we're gonna start zooming through these turns. I do wanna point out the only 2 civs that haven't figured out everything is, unsurprisingly, Coupe and Trajan. Let's see how long they survive. There's 21 leaders alive, which means half of them are about to die, and actually 2 or 3 are really only gonna matter at the end. Y'all thought I was kidding about those Japanese robots, didn't ya? Nope, they're going crazy with them. They're sick of being known for just anime and hentai. They're taking over cities all around the world. They slapped Korea so hard that they're no longer a colonial power, but that should be the least of their concerns since they're also on the peninsula. Oh, and China took North Korea. That's the best Korea. Not only that, but they made another country decolonize. They took all of these former Zulu cities, and gets better. Yes, that's Japanese South Africa. I don't know if they'll keep that, but this is amazing. While the Ottomans are kind of starting to do some good things, they've pretty much been stuck with 4 or 5 settlements. Things are getting better as they steal some cities away from weaker neighbors. So with Japan going crazy, and they're far from the strongest nation out there, the only place that's safe is Australia, I think. They should be fine. Indonesia won't cause much of a threat. They might lose their colonies though. This is the first time I've noticed that the city becomes like a light show randomly this far into the future. People are probably tripping balls down there. Looking at Germany right now, do you think this is what the Allies felt like back in 1939? Just that feeling that you could get spanked at any moment. Wow, and I would have never predicted the complete collapse of England. Vicky, what happened? So Australia got the 13 colonies, and you're pretty much dead back at home. These cities became free, and of course, it does look like Germany's gonna take this stuff. Even more crazy, Mongolia somehow grabbed Scotland. So, I mean, yeah, that's all right. Bagpipes, throat singing, same thing. And I was also wrong about this one. Oh my God, I didn't think Japan would just wipe out the entire Zulu nation. My pick just looks so stupid now. So stupid. The entire Pacific Ocean is pretty much filled with crap. I mean, I get it, the Pacific Ocean isn't necessarily realistic to proper size. Still, this is what the future looks like, guys. Also, Persia collapsed. They almost completely collapsed. They're probably gonna lose their last city. Germany, Japan, Phoenicia, they all kind of grabbed some new cities. I love how England was just obliterated, but now she has to ask for recovery because of a natural disaster. And hey, like all the people that, you know, are just taking her cities, they're helping out. That's so sweet of them. Next civ to get the axe, I guess, was Spain. Germany and Japan basically split all of the New World between each other. That sounds like an episode of Man in the High Castle. For some reason, this planet feels like it's necessary to build an international space station, even though pretty much everyone is already like conquering the Milky Way galaxy, except for like 2 nations. But yeah, no, Spain was destroyed a long time ago by mostly the Congo, it looks like, and then the French just did them in by taking Madrid. Like I said, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Roman Empire outlived the Spanish Empire. Not that long ago, I was just talking about their colonial nations, how it was bigger than everyone else. They lost it all, which is, again, accurate. I have no idea how they did this. The Ottomans couldn't have taken 3 cities from Germany. There's no way, right? They're too powerful. Maybe these places rebelled and then they got lucky, they just walked in. But then again, the German Empire is dealing with a lot. There's a whole lot going on all around the world. Maybe they didn't have the troops, or the units to protect their land. I don't know, I still doubt it. England's not dead yet, so that'd be even more amazing if the Romans can wait till they die too. But they did get 2 cities back. Maybe they'll get back London. For some reason, Scythia has a city. Also, that whole independent snow country colony, they didn't last very long. Who knows actually when they got taken over, but they're split. Japan has Iceland. And we actually have a cameo from a formerly dead leader. Sexy Gandhi is back, while other Gandhi is just losing everything. It's about time. So Scythia took everything up north. You know he probably dropped some nukes though. Also Korea is doing much better as the Mongolians kind of collapse next. They're getting sandwiched. Wow, this land is just ravaged. And at this point, even Coupe and Trajan have caught up to the rest of the world, almost. It just all depends on how many units you can pump out. Well, I guess the Congo just wasn't happy with having anime land controlling half the continent. Yeah, they wiped them completely off this part of the map. Also, it only took like 1,000 turns, but Indonesia's finally doing something. They have invaded the subcontinent of India, and no one is really stopping them. And I guess I should have expected this. Scythia, after almost killing off Genghis, just decided, well, we might as well keep going, and they killed Korea. Or almost. They basically killed Korea. Japan is also having trouble keeping their colonies in the New World. They've definitely been pushed back by the Germans, and obviously, they're seeing a few revolts. I think Mali might be the next one to go. It just seems that way. The Congo, I believe, are just gonna start spirit bombing everyone. The only 2 Middle Eastern countries that still remain is Phoenicia and the Ottomans. I'm assuming there's probably only gonna be one left after this. There's no way both survive. Oh, and China was killed off too. Wow, I almost forgot about that. I'm sure there's another leader that I forgot to mention that died a long time ago, but yeah, I guess this land's been partitioned. But I'm starting to think that maybe the Ottomans just have the German Empire's number. They now have 2 other former German cities. These were actually Polish before, but I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, it looks like Indonesia won't be keeping their Indian cities. That is a problem, but I guess good thing for Australia, since you don't really want to deal with a major... Oh, you guys are homies, right? Okay, I think they're cool. They got open borders, I guess. Ah, see, that's the problem. I don't know how long this has been going on for, but it would make sense if it's been happening for a while. There's a giant coalition against Frederick. Same kind of goes for the Japanese. I mean, there was a second there where I thought they were gonna pull ahead. I thought they were just gonna win the whole game. Just briefly, they must have been dealing with a lot of conflicts too, though. Luckily for both Scythia and I guess the Congo, I mean, a lot of people don't like them, but they're not involved in a whole lot of battles out there. So I promised we were gonna go a little bit more than just turn 1500. It's actually 1640, and I can't push the game any further. There is a crash that I just can't get past. So let's see who's left. Looking at this map, there's a couple shocking things. I think the biggest has got to be the Ottomans. I cannot believe they took even more cities from Germany. They took something away from the French. Yeah, they didn't, fare that well against Scythia, but that's kind of expected. And Coupe somehow survived till the very end. This is the only civ that lost his capital and still made it all the way through. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's not true. The Zulu are still around as well. And Phoenicia. Okay, yeah, I mean, they're just not as impressive. Their empires are much smaller. I don't even think these guys have that many military units. They must have just been on everyone's good side. I mean, importantly, the Congo were cool with them, I guess, and so was Germany. The Congo, by the way, did end up getting a pretty nice colonial empire. Most of Brazil and Argentina, a little bit of Chile and Uruguay. I guess if they ended up winning, they kind of deserve it now. I want to say some nukes have been dropped, especially in some of this now Ottoman territory, because so much has just been destroyed. I don't really see any fallout though, so I'm not sure. Ah yes, always love seeing where the AI builds the Golden Gate Bridge. We have it connecting Corsica to France. Amazing. The French ended up wiping out England, so there was that rivalry. It just took a really long time before anyone ever acted upon it, and yeah, they kind of lost a lot of their big populated cities. Oh, definitely some really bad things happened to this place. A whole bunch of people died. They had way more than 10 pops before. As for East Asia, both the Khmer and the Japanese Empire just got wiped out real fast by Tomyris. She really just didn't hold anything back. Obviously, the Australians lost their colonial empire over North America. Weirdly, this is just where Germany has all their focus. They're pretty much not gonna exist in Europe anymore. They'll just have this part of their empire forever, I think. Again, the revolts in this part of the world. You gotta give these people credit. I mean, they were fighting for their freedom the entire time. Even in the 27th century. These are the 10 leaders that are still alive, which, I mean, they should be proud. A lot of other places can't say that same thing, but it's really just between the Congo, Scythia, maybe Germany, but not really. The Phoenicians were actually wiped out by the Ottomans, so they are the ultimate Middle Eastern civ, I guess. They got no colonies either. I don't think they have anything outside of like this core empire. I would assume that maybe Scythia would continue off towards North America. It'd be very easy to do some naval invasions on the west coast and slowly take over this continent, but at the same time, Frederick still has a lot of units. That would be pretty bloody. I actually want to say that maybe even Germany has a better military than the Congo. I mean, they kind of don't have as many robots. I'm not sure if that matters. We definitely have at least one edgelord out there. They're proposing that the world ideology be turned to communism. Tasty. There's a nice little event trying to fix climate. I'm pretty sure it is way too late for that, guys, but I mean, have fun. Global CO2 contributions are pretty mixed for the most part, kind of. Australia, the Zulu, and weirdly Phoenicia just kind of trapped on the South Pole. I don't know how this is possible. I didn't even think this was a thing, but Scythia's running completely off of natural energy. How the hell did they do that? And I just love looking at this. This is such a long list now because it has everything. There we go. Oh my God. Category 5 hurricane killed 19. That's a new record. Haven't seen that before. Crippling blizzard in America killed 16 and 52 damaged tiles. Oh man, that probably hit Germany too. Maybe that's what crippled their empire. I forgot that the sea level wasn't really gonna change because none of these Earth maps have ice tiles, which are required to melt. I mean, they have snow tiles, but the ice is what causes water to go up and take up other tiles. Maybe in the future, something will be updated and we'll get to see more of that. In terms of religion, Catholicism remains on top by one single city. They have 60 cities, Hindu has 59. Oh, wow, I am dumb. Okay, obviously the numbers wouldn't stay the same. Judaism. Now, kind of dominates. How is that possible? Who did this? It's gotta be Scythia and the Congo. Did they win? I didn't even check on this. I just assumed that they were obviously all dead. No, this is actually the world's most dominant religion. It's pretty much just the New World and Western Europe that is following Catholicism, but I mean, yeah, I had no idea that Africa would eventually just spread their faith. Some of that stuff even made it down here towards Australia and New Zealand. They're split, but yeah, no longer worshiping their Outback steakhouses. This shouldn't be a surprise, but I still wanted to show it off. I mean, I'm still kind of shocking just to see the Ottomans with 7 capitals under their control. There are currently no wars going on and very few alliances. I guess there is just one I'm viewing as Coupe, so yep, that's it. In terms of governments, I guess the edgelord happened to be the Ottomans. They are communists, and so is France. They don't have much, but that's still something. Kind of hard to tell, but Indonesia is following something called corporate libertarianism. I'm not exactly sure what that entails, but they're the only ones doing that whole thing. And looking all around the map, it turns out the most breathtaking tiles are the Korean Peninsula. Weirdly. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this. A lot of coastal tiles, I guess, so that's gotta be why. Finally, the demographics, even though Germany lost a lot of their core cities, they still have the most population, 81 million. Obviously, that's probably all coming from the New World. And I was right, it does look like they have the most soldiers, so I don't think they'd be going down anytime soon. It'd be very difficult. Crop yield goes to Scythia, GNP to Germany, land and goods is also under Tamiris. And unfortunately, our Phoenicia, or basically the South Pole Civ, doing pretty much the worst. At least you guys survived. Something terrible had to have happened, that's for sure. Look at the population map mode. Look at this huge decline. Okay, yeah, no, the nuclear apocalypse definitely happened. Look at these guys, it just went straight down. Oh my god. Yeah, no, looking at the graphs overall, this is just kind of a story of how Germany kind of lost everything. Well, that's difficult to tell, but they were winning for a very large portion of the game, and things happened. I think it's safe to say that Scythia has won this game, and definitely if we could have kept going, they probably would have even taken more, either from Indonesia, Australia, the Ottomans. It seems like it would have gone that way, but I mean, Germany was in a close second. If they didn't fall apart at the end, I don't know, this would have been way harder. Congo just didn't do anything. They kind of just chilled. If this Civ was more aggressive, which, I mean, Movemba's not, he's kind of a peaceful leader, he probably should have got the W. Let me know down below if you'd like to see more, or just in general, maybe longer videos. I enjoy doing longer stuff. I might do another Civ campaign like this, possibly with a larger map. Problem with the larger map is I won't be able to go this far, so we won't see empires really snowball like the way they did. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. And big thanks to FurryCruz, Elphie C, Destiny9000, Paintmelikeyoudoyoursheilas, Elijah Senpai, Ruserification, SwissAargau, Maxy G, King Solomon, Ben Moke, Gali, TannerOfNazareth, MisterPERKELE, CooterDonkey, Brandon H, MegaFatBoi, Sneaky G, Jared Clark, Battle Buddy 1847, Andrea Mas. Thank you.